This is one of the most famous commencement speeches ever given. It's also one of the shortest. And yet its words are so powerful, they change the way millions of people approach their work and their lives. But it almost didn't happen. In fact, there were moments when the speaker himself felt like giving up. So what made him decide to get back on stage? And why does this speech continue to resonate with audiences more than 15 years later? I'll tell you right after. It's me, you're listening to this channel, and this is 1 minute. Steve Jobs was 39 years old the first time he gave a commencement speech at Stanford University. At the time, he'd been out of school for 14 years. He'd co-founded and built an incredibly successful software company, only to be ousted by the board of directors. He was then starting over, trying to launch a new company based around a product that seemed destined to fail. When the dean of Stanford's engineering school asked Jobs to speak to the graduating class, he felt like he wasn't accomplished enough to deliver a message they could actually use. But the dean insisted, and in the end, Jobs agreed, provided he could edit the speech beforehand. The school allowed this request, although no one knew it at the time. This would not be a normal commencement address. Jobs began by telling the students how he'd been invited to speak at the graduation ceremony of his high school, but had declined because he felt he wasn't notable enough to inspire them. He said he decided to accept the invitation from Stanford because he realized he'd managed to live an extraordinary life without the benefit of higher education. As he continued, he revealed the secret behind his success, which can be summed up in 2 phrases: stay hungry, stay foolish. He explained that these were opposing concepts. Stay hungry meant always wanting more and being willing to sacrifice everything else to achieve it. Meanwhile, stay foolish meant not taking yourself too seriously. It meant being willing to go against the crowd, to ignore those who say you're crazy, to be unconventional. When Jobs was in college, he said, he dropped out to join a group of friends working on personal computers. While many of his peers thought he was making a terrible mistake, he ignored them and went for it. Later, when Apple nearly ran out of money, he was forced to work with IBM, the company he'd previously rejected as a supplier, because no one else would touch Apple. Again, his peers thought he was making another huge mistake, but he trusted his instincts and forged ahead. Now, Jobs was about to make a similar bet. He'd left Apple and started a new company called Next. The product he wanted to sell was called the Next computer. It looked like a Macintosh, but was really a supercharged version of it. Jobs was pouring everything into this machine, and he needed the money to finish development. He reached out to Apple and proposed a deal where he would license the Mac OS software to Next for a cool $1 million. Apple agreed, but stipulated that if Next failed, Jobs wouldn't be able to work for Apple again. So once again, Jobs was going against the crowd, this time betting everything he had on a product that was years ahead of its time. That's when Jobs learned that his cancer had returned. He took a leave of absence from Next to undergo surgery, and during this time he contemplated his mortality. He realized that if he died, his Next computer would die with him. So he returned to work, ignored the doctor's advice, and pushed the team to launch the Next computer. To his surprise, the product sold well enough to secure the company's future and pay off his debt to Apple. His cancer was in remission, and his career was back on track. In his speech, Jobs told the students that they would face similar moments in their lives. They would have to decide whether to follow their hearts or listen to what everyone else was saying. That's why the speech ended with a call to arms, a call to stay hungry and stay foolish. Jobs went on to deliver the commencement address 3 more times. Each speech was wildly popular. But in 2011, he was invited to speak at the university's commencement ceremony. By this point, Jobs was terminally ill with pancreatic cancer, having undergone a liver transplant. During the previous Christmas holiday, he'd given his last major presentation. He knew this would likely be his final public appearance. Yet he still had one more surprise in store for his audience. He appeared on stage riding a bicycle, symbolizing his lifelong passion for creativity, innovation, and pushing boundaries. His talk inspired thousands of students and millions more watching online. The problem is, most of us don't know how to apply these lessons to our own lives. We do and know what to be hungry for or how to balance that hunger with the need to stay foolish. It's hard to be both ambitious and humble, to want more while accepting what we have. And that's why we've created a free email course that will help you learn how to It's truly adopted the mindset of Steve Jobs. It's me. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.